Hey there YouTube, and hello knife people. Today we're going to be taking a look at some budget knives that I own. I've got a whole bunch on my desk here, just kind of hanging out. I'm going to try to stick to knives that are under $50 because I feel like that's a pretty good price to be working with if you're looking for a good quality cutting tool and you don't have that much money to spend. These knives are in my personal collection. I haven't gone out and, curated these as a list for the viewers. This is just authentically what I have in my collection for under 50 bucks. So I have used all of them. Yeah, all of them. Some are speed safe, some are traditional folders. I've got flippers. There's an out the front in here. There's all kinds of stuff. So it should be pretty cool. And I just got off work, so I'm actually gonna have a beer as well. I don't know if you guys are into beer. I live in Colorado, so beer and knives and cannabis, they're all kind of things. So this is Cannabis, Hazy IPA from Oscar Blues. I do have the front camera on, so this might be mirrored. I'm not sure. I haven't shot with this camera yet. So let's crack this open. And we'll just real quickly get a look at how this is. It says Hazy IPA, so I'm expecting sort of a cloudy appearance. I did work in a brewery for about 9 months, 10 months, so I have some idea of what I'm talking about. And I am a big fan of IPA, so there you go. Yeah, very, very juicy, as you would call it, that sort of orange juice looking haze. Yeah, it's good. It's got a floral character to the hops. That's quite refreshing. All right, anyway, let's get to the knives. Okay, and we are back. These are all the knives I have in my collection currently that, as far as I can recall, were under $50. I have had other knives under 50 bucks, like I've had a Tenacious. I had a Kershaw strobe, which I gave to a friend. Some other stuff that's kind of passed in and out. This is just what I have currently, and this is just so if anyone's like, ooh, I like that knife, I want to see a full review of it by itself, you can drop me a comment and just let me know. Alright, so first up, this is the Gerber EAB. I got this knife because I was working in a chemical manufacturing setting, so I needed something that wasn't going to rust. And let me tell you, this thing has seen some things. The finish is very marked up and scarred. However, it is not corroded because it is aluminum. It was like, I think this goes for about $11 or $12, and it's got to be one of the best knives that Gerber makes. No offense to Gerber, I know this is one of their cheaper knives, but I literally dropped this in a chemical blender on several occasions, and it has come out of there, even when the mixer was actually running. Sorry, you might hear my cat, Mia. She's hanging out by my feet. The steel Will Cutjack. This is the smaller version, I think. It's like the 3-inch blade. It's D2 steel. You can get this for $40 to $45. I saw on Birdshot IV's channel that they had found this knife on Amazon for it was like $19.95, and I jumped all over it as soon as I saw that. So I got this knife for like 20 bucks. For 20 bucks, it's a phenomenal knife. And for 40 bucks, it is still phenomenal. Really like it. Feels very good in the hand. Has very good action. I did polish my phosphor bronze washers just to give it a little bit more of a smooth, snappy, satisfying action. But you guys know that, you know, I like to modify my knives. I have an Opinel. This is a number 8, I think. Does it say? It doesn't say. Opinel number 8. Is this, what is that? That is not rust. That is some other gunk that I should have cleaned off before shooting the video. This is a really nice knife. If you're looking for a traditional knife, I don't think you'll find a more useful one than this, honestly. You can lock it, so it does lock. If you want, you can slip this collar off and use it purely as a traditional folder. And that could be for legality issues in your area. Always check your state laws before carrying knives outside of the house. Most states will allow you to, you know, use whatever you want at home. You could, you know, cut up Thanksgiving dinner with a balisong. No one's gonna come beating down your door. At least I don't think. This is the Kershaw Entropy. This is about, I want to say it's like $25. I think it's under 30. It is spring assisted. It's got a pretty good spring action. Kershaw tends to do that well. Kind of washers we got, I think they're Teflon. Got some kind of cool standoffs back here. They're like anodized orange. I thought it was a pretty nice touch. I don't carry this knife as much as I thought I would, only because I don't know if you can see the flex in it if I do that. That's more of a personal preference, really. This is a Todd Rexford design, and I think Kershaw handled it really well. I don't think there's a whole lot more like sturdiness you could add to the knife, so it's just sort of me nitpicking things I like and things I don't. The clip on this is fantastic. The handles, they're okay. They're not the grippiest. I think that the Cutjack is grippier as far as plastic handles go. Blade centering could be better. Tends to rub this steel liner right here a little bit. But for the price, it's pretty good. Nice, attractive stonewash on here. I believe it's flat ground. And takes a decent edge. I think it's 8 CR13 MOV. Yep. This is one thing. You can see the detent ball path on the blade. It's slightly unattractive, but you know, you make compromises for not spending a whole bunch of money on a knife. Really, when you're paying that much, you're paying a lot for fit and finish and status and brand name and stuff like that. These are perfectly reasonable cutting tools in my opinion. Alright, CRKT, the LCK, stands for, I think, lightweight compact knife or something like that. Lurch design, nice forward choil so you can kind of get up on there. Really nice that this is hollow ground and such a long thin blade. It's almost like having a fillet knife on you or something. It is not assisted. It's on bronze washers and it has great action. I do believe I've polished these washers as well. If I have any complaints, I do like the pocket clip. This is a non-free spinning pivot, which is nice. If I've got to complain about anything, it's this. Let me get closer here so you can hear it. Hear that? That would be the detent ball. It took me a while to figure out because I would open it. You can hear the lack of ticking and whatever. Yeah, the little ball that actually rolls the blade back into place in this position. It just rattles around. It's not that bad. It's honestly a little thing. Other than that, I really like the knife, and I actually took this to New York with me when I went last. Was that last year? I think it was last year. This is kind of a fun knife for around 40 bucks, I want to say. This is probably the cheapest out the front knife you can get. It's called the Lightning. There's not really a manufacturer associated with this. It is kind of it's like a saber grind, primary grind, and then the secondary grind is like a chisel style, right? So there's no secondary here, only here. And same thing with the serrations. There are not also serration grinds on the back. It's not amazing construction. You can see some kind of sliding wear here. It's quite rattly, but being able to deploy it and bring it back with the same button is pretty cool. You will annoy the people around you because you'll just sit there and do that all day. But it is cool, and if you have knife collecting friends, they might also enjoy seeing that in my experience. I just reviewed this knife the other day. This is the CRKT Journeyer, designed by Liang Ma, and quite like it. Had to modify this finish a little bit. If you want to see what I'm talking about, go check out that video. But yeah, I've been carrying this lately, and I quite like it. This is like all of $18, I think, on Blade HQ, so it's a great deal. Honestly, go snag one right now. I was about 4 years behind on the release of this knife, and honestly, I wish I had found it sooner. I'm enjoying it that much. And lastly here, we have a Boker, or Boucher, I believe, because they have an umlaut over the O, so I believe it's Boucher. Boker Plus. This is a German company, as far as I know. This is an automatic knife, different from the out the front automatic. This is a push button automatic, and it opens from the side. This is like a Desert Warrior colorway. So we have like a copper blade, and then sort of a, yeah, I guess I would call that like OD green on there. There's a safety. I don't tend to use it. Yeah, I like this knife a lot. As you can see, I have carried it. The paint tends to wear off the clip, and I think the blade shows a little bit of wear on there as well. So it'll mark up. It'll kind of get a battle-worn look, if you will. These are aluminum handles, but they're not cold to the touch, which is interesting. I really thought they would be sort of, cold and unsatisfying, but they feel good. It's got a nice texture on there. It feels like this knife could do some serious work. Now, I haven't tried to hammer it into anything, nothing like that, but with the steel liners, the aluminum handles, and a solid blade, and I'm trying to remember. Oh, this is AUS 8. Yeah, AUS 8 steel. So it's pretty good. I've never had any complaints, really. I also have AUS 8 on a different knife that I have, and it performs well for a reasonable amount of time. I would put it up there with like a VG10 stainless steel. All right. I think that's it. This is an honorable mention here. This is the Spyderco Manbug. I don't remember how much this knife is. If it's more than 50 bucks, I will let you know somewhere down here. But this is a really nice knife if you need something that's not intimidating at all. Like, let me squeeze it in here. You can see it's super tiny. If we fold it up, yeah, it's a little bit smaller than the Gerber EAB. All right, that's what I have for you. If any of these knives really spoke to you, please let me know in the comments, and I will give it its own review, because as of right now, I believe this is the only knife in this lineup that has its own dedicated review. Okay, thanks a lot for your time today, and I will catch you on the next video.